Okay, so I had no intention of talking about this, but here I am. What's up, everybody? My name is Sen. Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, I wanted to talk about a video that Max made in reaction to a post that Shroud had made talking about friction in gaming.
There's so much friction to play Tarkov. Most people don't even open that game.
Yeah. This is the argument of optimizing the fun out of video games, you know?
Now, I had made a post on a Heidi account just saying like, hey, what are your thoughts on this matter? If you do happen to figure out the account, like, I guess good for you. I'm not going to say like my username or platform or whatever it is, but if you figure it out, you figure it out. But what I actually found to be interesting was how things were so like one side or the other on the conversation. The core conversation was Shroud essentially just saying, hey, we shouldn't quality of life a game to death, like to its simplest form. And Max does what he does best, you know, he relates it to things like fighting games or his experience with Expedition 33, him talking about Monster Hunter. Do we have frame data now? Let's fucking go, baby. Oh my god, I've waited. I don't have the DLC yet, but I'm interested in playing Unica. I'm just poor. Now, for all intents and purposes, like, I agree. But there is the other side of the conversation, which I feel isn't considered as much, and a lot of you guys talked about on that post. The biggest point that a lot of you guys made was, like, based around time, where, like, you know, we're not as young as we used to be, so we don't have that significant amount of time to grind out in a game, like, grind out a game in the ways that we wanted to. Because either we have like full-time jobs, or you know, you have a significant other, or like on top of that significant other you might have a child as well, and finding the time to get past some of these barriers becomes that much harder. And I do understand. I'm not like a full-time YouTuber or a streamer or anything like that, so I don't get paid to do any of this shit. Like, I have to do it all in my free time. I work 12-hour shifts, and by the time I get home, I'm smoked sometimes. Sometimes I just want to unwind. And for some of you guys, yeah, gaming is unwinding, but for me, it's not. Because a lot of times, like, I have to think about a game a lot, whether that be a fighting game, or I want to write about a game, or I'm streaming games, and I'm saving those games exclusively for streams, and it's like, do I want to start a new game? Not exactly, but that's just me. And if you do want to catch the stream, I've been streaming Breath of Fire 4 and God of War, and it's been a really good time, and you guys should stop by. And then there's the other side where it's like, oh, we don't need to babyify it, like, we don't need to babyify games for, like, this type of audience, which is, like, the extreme of it. Like, you can have both. ¿Por qué no los dos? And in that conversation, like, with fighting games, some of you guys are saying it's like, oh, you know, fighting games are already hard enough or interesting enough as is, just with fighting another person and like fighting around those mechanics, that you don't need execution checks every step of the way just to show that you can play the game in a significant way. Oh, you flubbed it, you fucking dumb bitch. Drag DI time, baby. It's time for a comeback. Big throw. Shock stay. Oh, you fucking bitch. Nice. It really is just funny how one side or the other people are. Like, both can exist. With that said, in the modern generation of gaming, they've done a job to kind of push away the more high execution games. The actual joy of not having everything explained to you is like what's referred to as the discovery period, which is actually my favorite period in gaming. Like, the beginning introductory stages of any game is so fun because you're just having such a time learning about the game, and these like small little things accumulate into massive gains in edgewise ways they wouldn't. But I don't think games should entirely get rid of like high execution games, because yeah, while saying games like, oh yeah, even just something as simple as moving around is hard in this game, like, when you do learn how to do that and like do these significant things, it feels really good. That's why the Souls franchise is such a big deal for me. There's no real instant gratification in those games. They will try to beat your ass until you surmount whatever obstacle is in your given path. That's why when you do accomplish something like that, the dopamine hit from those games is just fucking I also don't think every game should give you like the nth degree of resistance, because then to a point gaming feels like a chore. That was the actual importance of playing a game like Mario Odyssey for me. I had no intention of playing that game, but my roommate was so adamant about it, like, oh, hey, I think you should play this, and I'm happy I did, because that game was just such a refreshing, simple, nice time to play that I actually ended up liking it quite a bit. Is it my favorite platformer? No, absolutely not. But I'm happy I played it. Not every game I play needs to challenge me physically, mentally, or emotionally. Adding on to like the pro resistance point is that while there remains a lot for you to like unpack in the earlier stages of the game, there also remains things to learn about once you reach like the highest level in any competitive game there is. But thinking of a game like Street Fighter 4, where like, dude, it's so hard to optimize that game, and the people that do make it look incredible. That's why it's such a historic game. That's why games like Third Strike are so historic, that when these fantastic things are done, you can't help but to appreciate it. And that's why games like that last the test of time. That's why games like that are looked back at so fondly. It feels like the entire FGC loved those games. Maybe I shouldn't say entire FGC, because some fucking dork out there is pushing up their stupid glasses, like trying to catch you on any kind of actually statement when you're just speaking in hyperbole. So, but now the extreme of the like removal of resistance conversation would be like, you wouldn't be playing a game at any point if there was no resistance at like whatsoever. It would be much closer to watching someone do a let's play. And then that way you can infer these levels of difficulty by like seeing what's going on and like the reaction of any given streamer. Damn, he got me though. I think I'm dead. But now doubling back to like the full-time worker, it's like whether you have like a full-time job or relationship or even a potential parent, is that when you don't have a ton of time, that was one of the reasons I hated playing League of Legends. The ROI on League was such shit, man. Like, I wouldn't feel satisfied with a game session with League unless I had like a 5 or 6 hour game session. It's a great streaming game, but apart from that, like it destroys your time. And that's just with like the base game being like 20 minutes at minimum, but more often than not, each game is like 40 minutes. And is one of the reasons why I like fighting games so much, is because I get like a 1 or a 2 hour session, and I feel like, oh yeah, that was a significant, like I can make some significant gains in 1 to 2 hours of playing a fighting game. As far as quality of life changes, I've been playing some older games, and in a way it's a little jarring when quality of life features you would expect to be in whatever game that you're playing just straight up aren't there because maybe they haven't been invented yet or were intentionally not included. It just kind of throws you off a little because I've gotten so used to them being there, whether I want them to be there or not. But with that said, both can absolutely exist. There's room for both of these markets of play. I don't think going as far as to say something like gaming is no longer for you if you feel this way is a bit extreme. Like, the landscape of gaming is massive. There is a game for everyone. Sometimes it just takes a little bit more work to find it, but gaming is inclusive. With that said, though, for me personally, I don't want games to hand me all the information all the time, always. Sometimes a helping hand here and there is nice, but not when it's like super aggressive. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.